she understood how to create intimacy when she entertained.
Yes.
And I think that's a gift as well, that
Yes.
you could talk to the people that you were sitting next to.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't feel you were one of 200.
Exactly.
You felt you were one of 12, perhaps.
Every time you would turn up at her home, you'd be taken by surprise.
You would, always.
And the table would always look spectacular. And you'd think, why couldn't I ever think of anything like that? I think that what Victoria certainly taught me is you don't have to be complicated to be dramatic. Victoria liked the unpredictable.
The party at the Oval, she so cleverly had the white cricket flannel as tablecloths. It was so witty, so witty.
Again, an appreciation of something that's used in an unpredictable way.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a time of brands, so everything is brand driven. It was irrelevant to her.
It was. She was completely unaffected by fashion.
Completely,
because
yeah.
she was so much her own person with her own taste, and her taste came from within. It wasn't something that was influenced by her peers or by what was happening in the fashion world.
If she felt there was design, it didn't matter where it came from. It could come from a street market, but it had to have design. If we dissected this table, you realise it's so ahead of its time. Mm. It's that restraint, that minimalism. I mean, I know you're looking at a table here and there's nothing minimalistic about it, but there is. There's a discipline, there's a modernity, it's ahead of its time, it's contradictory,
yes.
It's unexpected.
Well, yes, I mean, this table setting would have been at Ascott House, which is one of the Rothschild houses in Buckinghamshire. It's now National Trust. And this was a typical Sunday lunch setting, wasn't it?
Yes.
Victoria always used these wonderful plates that date from the 1770s. Can you believe it? The plates come from Chantilly, the Chantilly factory. They were always slightly different depending what year they were made, because Chantilly would be changing their pattern very, very slightly over the years. I find that very moving, the fact that she's prepared to include my children in a Sunday lunch and her children, very young children, and they're all eating off a Chantilly plate from the 1770s. I mean, that is amazing.
It is amazing, that.
It's so flattering.
Yeah. She trusted the children.
She did.
You know, as a 22-year-old, to leave your family, move to England, there were no mobile phones. It's a lonely journey.
It is, yes.
And what she brought with her was something that was of her mother's, which is actually the blue and white china, which her mother collected that she then built upon. And again, the tulip vases.
Yes.
And brought that into the Rothschild family. That was her identity of her previous life.
Yeah. Her mother collected them originally, and then Victoria brought them with her for her married life in England, and then she continued collecting them thereafter. The tulips aren't in the vases because she didn't like them in the vases.
No, because she wants you to look at the design of the vase.
Exactly, the shape of the tulipière, all those bulbous shapes that they have are so beautiful, and you know, they epitomise her because they're quirky, they're original, they're quite rare, they're fresh, they're exuberant, they're joyful. All those qualities I think one can associate with darling Vicky, don't you think?
Right, you're absolutely right, yes. It's actually all the glass it always terrified me because I used to cook a lot for her because I love cooking, and all her glasses have been.
Like this one, this beautiful Bohemian glass. I think it is Bohemian with the Rothschild initial on it.
And it's very
that sort of epitomises how she was, her fragile beauty. She was fragile. She looked fragile, didn't she? So one felt quite protective towards her.
What we've demonstrated here of her style, you can do it at every price.
You can. It's true.
You could go to Peter Jones and buy a blue and white curtain fabric, and that becomes your tablecloth. If you want to take something away, it doesn't matter what price it is. If you look at each individual piece, does it merit in design? I think she's influenced a group of us without us realising. I have cloths like this at home. They may be different colours, but I sort of do the same. Victoria was a genius at creating a stage for us to have a wonderful time.
Definitely. I mean, a table like this makes you feel so happy. I mean, it's so joyous that then you relax, and that is an ambiance. She's creating.
The director.
Impresario.
Impresario.
She had a wonderful giggle. Do you remember? I miss her.